The guest is the new head football coach at Tennessee State University, Coach James Webster. And of course, we're talking about Coach Webster, many things in reference to your experiences and your career. But let's give you an opportunity to continue. But let's start off by talking about the OVC conference and the ACC conference, because I think at one time you were part of the ACC conference. And let's see if you could, however you wish to deal with them as two entities here.
Well, I think that one thing, first of all, that our players need to understand, one of our goals is to win the conference championship. And I know that we play, I believe it's 4 classics. I know the excitement is there and enthusiasm is there and the players get excited and the fans get excited about it. But we also need to get excited about our conference games. That's the first thing I've learned, is that winning a conference championship is very important. Winning every game is very important. My experience has shown me that within conferences, the ACC or the SEC or whatever, you have teams that generally compete for the conference championship every year. You have teams that generally don't compete for the conference championship every year. I think that if you look at the comparisons that I have studied to the OVC and looking at the ACC, I would like to think that Tennessee State University could become the Florida State or the Miami of the OVC. Florida State and Miami, the Virginia Techs are the teams that have recently, of course, Miami and Virginia Tech just recently came into the ACC, but before they did, Florida State basically dominated the ACC. They were the team to beat every year. And when you become the team to beat, what our players are going to have to understand, just like in the ACC and OVC, is that when you play every week a team in your conference, you're going to get their best shot. And our players need to understand that. You can't afford to have an off week. And it's the same thing in every conference you go in. If you're the top dog in that conference, if you're the team that preseason everybody says is going to win, then it doesn't matter. You have to understand that even the team that's in last place, when they play you, you are going to get their best shot. They're going to play their best game of the year. You're their rival. You're the team that they got to beat, because they can lose 5 games and beat you because you're supposed to be top dog, and boy, we had a great season. So our players need to understand, first of all, we've got to win and become that top dog. You know, I want to become the top dog in OVC. I want to be the team that the other teams say, hey, we got to beat them if we want to win the conference championship. And I think that as far as the level of competition, you know, there are a lot of Division I players in the OVC. I've watched tape. You know, we've got some on our football team right here. And there's even though the conferences may say OVC or ACC, there's a high level of competition in both leagues.
Very good. And of course, when you talk in terms of the ACC, you've had quite a bit of experience in that area. Why don't you talk about some of the things that you've been involved in and some of your own athletic exploits during your earlier career?
Well, I played at University of North Carolina. When we came in as freshmen, I think our varsity was 0-10 or 2-8. When we left as seniors, we were ACC champions. So I was part of a program that you came in was not very good and saw what it took to build it. And when I left, we were ACC champions in 1971-72. We played in the Gator Bowl against Georgia. I was voted the most valuable player in the Gator Bowl. My senior year, I won the Frank Porter Graham Award, which is awarded to the top 10 graduating seniors from the University of North Carolina. I won the Brian Piccolo Award, which was given to the most courageous player. I had an injury, serious injury before the season started, and came back and played from that. The one thing I think that I've been very blessed with as far as coaching and the opportunity to win is that I've had some excellent coaches that I've coached under, and I've coached at some excellent schools. I came back coaching at the University of North Carolina, alma mater, and from there I went to the University of Florida, and the head coach there was Doug Dickey, who was a head football coach at University of Tennessee, and also the athletic director most recently at the University of Tennessee. And I learned a lot of things from Coach Dickey. From there I went to the University of Kansas. From there I went to Colorado with Chuck Fairbanks, who was coaching the pros with the New England Patriots, and he came to Colorado. From there I went to Northwestern University, and the head coach there was Dennis Green, who's now the head coach of the Cardinals. And there was a lot to be learned there. Dennis Green had an excellent mind as far as offensive football was concerned. Threw the ball, he didn't care much about running it, but threw the ball all over the place. And so that gave me experience in the ACC, in the SEC, in the Big 8, in the Big Ten, and then from there I came back to the ACC at Wake Forest with Bill Dooley, who was my college coach at the University of North Carolina. And we, of course, developed a team there, ended up going to a bowl game and playing well. And then when Coach Dooley retired, I got my 1AA experience. I went to Dartmouth in the Ivy League. And I really believe that every coach that coaches should coach in the Ivy League, because those young men do not receive athletic financial aid. And they're there because they want to. And you need to experience your best player coming to you on Thursday before your biggest game saying, Coach, I want to be at practice today because I got an exam tomorrow. I really need to study.
You need that, okay. You know, you need that experience.
You need that experience because that doesn't happen very often on Division I level. But you need that, and all of a sudden you think about it, you want to say something, you say, well, wait a minute now, I can't tell this kid he's putting a scholarship in jail because he's not on a scholarship. So you really need that experience. And from there, I went to East Carolina University. And the thing that I remember most about East Carolina University, which is tied into UNC, is that we played the University of Miami twice at East Carolina University. We played them down in the Orange Bowl. We handed them their worst loss that ever been handed at that time. They came up, we played them in Raleigh, beat them again. And this past season, we played the University of Miami at the University of North Carolina when they were number 4 in the country, and we beat them again. So I can honestly say that I'm one of the few coaches in America that has never lost to the University of Miami. I'm 3-0, and I hope to keep it that way.
Very good.
And then, of course, from East Carolina, I ended up going to the University of North Carolina. So I've coached in every football conference in the country except for the Pac-10 on the West Coast. So that's given me an opportunity to see every brand of football, all the passes, all the runs, the different philosophies, and like I said, I've coached under some really good coaches, and that's what has molded me today to be the coach that I am today.
Coach, you know, in terms of the highest level, the next level, what do you think about the NFL in terms of trying to...
I know what type of player it takes to play on the NFL. I coached Julius Peppers at the University of North Carolina, and obviously he was about the 2nd player taken in the draft. And I know the level that you have to work at, which is very, very hard. I have one of my former players here playing for the Titans, Michael Waddell. He was my special team return man. And I also worked at 2 pro camps. I went to the Pittsburgh Steelers and worked with them as an understudy, you might say. I also went with the St. Louis Rams the year they won the Super Bowl. John Bunning, who was teammates of mine, was the head coach at UNC. Went there and worked with them. It did like an internship in the St. Louis Rams training camp. And the thing that you see, and a lot of guys don't understand, that you see these guys that are millionaires, making a whole lot of money, riding around the fancy cars, but they work hard. They work hard at their trade. And a lot of guys think that once you get in the pros, they don't really work hard, they collect their money. No, those guys practice hard, they lift weights hard, and they have to live a straight life off the field because everybody wants to be a millionaire. I'd love to make $9 or $10 million a year, and that's what that's all about. You know, that guy that's coming out of college, that guy that's under you, he wants your job. So those guys have to stay on top of what they're doing. They're very, very competitive because the money is so great and all the glamour and the fame that goes along with it. So I had an opportunity to be in that arena, an opportunity to see that. And so now when a young man comes to my office and Coach, I want to play pro ball, I can tell him what it will take for him to get to that level and what it will take for him to be successful.
Very good. And of course, Coach, we're nearing the end of this particular show, and we can only say that we're simply delighted at the information that you've given us, that it has been a very, very full profile, indicating that Tennessee State University is indeed fortunate to have an individual who has the kind of background and the kind of experience that you have, and seem to be committed to the idea of greatness for Tennessee State University. And of course, I think that there are many, many people that can buy into that kind of philosophy. But now we've got about a minute, and that'll give you an opportunity over the last minute to give us some kind of final comment, and then we'll be able to call the show in.
Well, I think it's important that everyone understands that one person can't build a winning program. 2 people can't build a winning program. It takes the administration at Tennessee State University. It takes the student support. It takes the football players that you have to have. It takes the coaches. It takes the alums that are out in the different cities that see different players. It takes the fans here in Nashville to come out and cheer and support the football team. It takes dedication on our part to see that we're bringing the right young people into the program. And so my point is that it takes everybody and a lot of people to contribute to the success of a program.
Very good. And of course, let me thank you for giving us that excellent information. And let me encourage our audience to tune in again next week for another informative edition of Comments. Thank you and good morning.